Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. We'll jump in the queue here. I happen to see how else is streaming. I don't think... What on? I guess, like, he's... I don't know. I know how else has been trying to get more people interested in Prismata. He made, like, a... what he called a hype video to try to get Hearthstone players interested in it. I don't really know how that turned out. He said he wasn't very satisfied with it, but who knows. Anyway. So maybe he's trying to do more of that, but on stream somehow? I don't know. Wow. There's like no attackers in this set? And there's like defenders, right? There's grid. So you probably want high-ish econ, although maybe just Ebb is good enough. The thing is though, like, what are your attackers? I think they might be force fields. I'm not, like, thrilled about getting red, but Tarsiers are also, like, the best attacker here besides Reservoir, so... Okay, if opponent builds Apollo, they can snipe it, but I think... You want red, so... Kind of should still do that. So I'm thinking something like get an Ebb next, or a Forge next turn, and then an Ebb, and then like build a few Oxides while I continue to drone up. But I'm not sure when to fit in the Conduit and the Forge Animus, because I think I do want those things, and I think I don't want an Apollo. Because it's just too much tech to have 3 blue in this set, I think. And the attackers that you want are all red, and like, oh well, Apollo can kill them, I guess. That's life. But you need red to give you access to Tarsiers and Reservoir. And an Apollo that snipes Tarsiers is fine. It's not outstanding. It's fine. Sniping Tarsiers that are also force fields is better, of course. But I think the most important thing is to get the Reservoir. Opponent's gonna have a lot of green. I'm not sure like exactly how important that is, but I guess not that much more than me, really. I think I might just get the Animus next turn. Yeah, probably. Opponent's not going to be able to. They'll get a couple drones. I'll have the first Animus down. It might be a little bit early, but I really want that Reservoir going. Like, after that, the Tarsiers are going to kind of suck. But what are you supposed to do? Okay, opponent definitely does want the Reservoir. I'm not sure about getting the second Conduit now, though. Yeah, there's the Animus. This makes more sense. Really? This feels very odd to me. I liked your other turn with the Animus, I think. And next turn we get the grid? Well, maybe I'll... Yeah, next turn I get the grid. It means that the Oxide can click and kill an Engie, but, like, Oxide was going to kill an Engie eventually anyway. And I don't super need the energy anymore, I think. Like, I'm planning to spend a lot of my money on attackers. So I don't need that many drones. Or on stuff that costs tech, anyway. Seems early for your grid, isn't it? Shouldn't it be another Oxide to cause me, like, some pain? I think that one drone here is enough. I want the extra green more? Question mark? No, it's gonna take so long for that green to be worth anything. This drone will like pay for itself. Like it'll give me $4 later. Like I can get a conduit. And I don't want to just build a ton of force fields all at once because there's still a lot of soak in this set, and I want to be able to build it. Opponent should clearly click the pixie here, of course, to deny me the option to build more drones. Wow, very strange. I think this is what I want. But I'm also kind of thinking about a conduit. I think that's not necessary. NG? Opponent might be threatening a... Yeah. I mean, they're gonna have, what, like... Well, they won't be doing any damage. The question is, am I gonna spend the energy? I'm spending 8 on Tarsiers, 6 on drones is 14, 17... Yeah. I want to try to build a triple drone anyway. Opponent's getting the Apollo. Okay. I don't know. Maybe you're right, but I don't think I want that much blue. Just get a splitter here? Because, like, we're over the absorb barrier, right? I was thinking this, but... I don't really want splitters. Yeah, I'll just get this grid early. Because pretty soon I'll need some more soak lying around, and... Because, like, they threaten... I don't know. They're not likely to actually kill the grid, but they have the option of clicking pixies that might leave me in an awkward spot. And I'll be perfectly happy to have a spare soak for... to keep my reservoir going. I just think Apollo's too slow. I think I just click 1 here to make sure they lose an NG. I could click 3 more to kill Force Field NG, but that's kind of like, why bother? Well, they still have a number of these oxides going. I don't think I need more than 6 conduits, or 6, yeah I do. 7 will be fine. I have a lot of drones. Okay, so if I do this, I think that's the best I can do. They're perfectly granular anyway. And I don't know, maybe these last 2 Tarsios should have been Rhinos, actually. They probably should have. I just have, like, a lot more damage than opponent does. I don't think the Apollo is going to make up for it. 12 is 7, 10, losing 1 force field. I'll just get a Rhino. Oh, they're losing a force field? No. I think Q just couldn't find a way. Ah, yeah, they're not granular without the force fields. I see. Oh, they are. Okay. Interesting that Q made that mistake then. I think you should hit a Rhino. This leaves them 9 health alive, which is 4 force fields, so they're losing 2 and attacking for 11. This is 7, 9. Rhino is 11. Yep. So I think Apollo was just the wrong idea. Also, not getting a lot of green was a problem, and delaying the reservoir, I don't know. It might have been correct, but I didn't like it at the time anyway. I also think that Ebb would have been a better choice than this Oxide for a first blue thing. Right? Well, maybe not, because if you get an Ebb and a drone, like, what exactly are you getting additionally? I don't think you want a second conduit yet. So the Oxide's sort of okay. But, where was that turn? Was this the only play you put on the board that had an Animus? I think this might have been the best compromise. Getting that reservoir early really helps. And you miss a drone for it, but that's kind of life, I guess. I don't know. They wanted this third NG, but I think that was too greedy. With Ebb Turbine, you can already build like a pretty substantial number of drones without needing a third engineer. Right, this is sort of like 2 drones for 6 EB. So you can already build 3 if you're willing to spend your blue on it. Which, I don't know, I guess you shouldn't be. You should be trying to build like other blue stuff. I built 1 Ebb because an Ebb is good, but I wouldn't want to like use that blue as energy. Blue is much more valuable here than energy is. So I guess if you want a lot of drones, then sure, build a third NG. I just think the problem is that you don't want a lot of drones. And also, you didn't spend all the energy. Okay. So I guess this is, the lesson of this game is this: Apollo loses games, right? There are games where Apollo is good, but not nearly as many as you might think. Here, like, it can't even snipe walls. Sniping Tarsiers is usually better than sniping walls, but it's not amazing. I don't know. Part of the value of Apollo is that it threatens to do either of those things. Oh yeah, also, should have sniped a force field. Not that it makes a huge difference, but the force field is a strictly better Tarsier at this point. I said Rhino during the game, but force field is obviously a better choice. Yeah, opponent, like, I don't know, just invested too much in the Apollo. Spent a long time, like, not building enough attackers. Right, they were floating red, not buying green, and as a result, they just had, like, kind of the wrong stuff. For some reason, like, kept not clicking pixies? What's up with that? Like, clicking clicking 2 pixies would have killed a force field, which is like insane. So, okay, but they were clearly losing, so whatever. Yeah, alright, so I don't know. Did I get everything exactly right here? Maybe not. I feel like I ended up with a couple too many drones. But then again, like, there's a lot of soak / absorb here, and you want your attackers to be drones, but you still want to be building the soak. So you need a lot of drones as a base, so that when you turn a bunch of them into force fields, you still have a reasonable number. So, I don't know. And it's like, what else are you gonna do once you build the force field? Like, you have 1 blue. You could build a second forge, maybe, to get, like, double grids. That would be reasonable, I think, to cut off droning a bit sooner. Like, maybe here. If 2 of these drones had been a forge, it might not have been the worst idea ever. Because then I could prepare some more grids on this turn to guarantee I don't need to worry about losing force fields anytime soon. Shouldn't they have, like, clicked a different number of pixies here? Like 2 fewer, maybe? Because 2 fewer would be 10 damage. Which I can't use 2 grids for. I have to use single grid, absorb on grid is 7, lose 3 energies. That costs me a little more granularity. It's not a huge deal since I have grid clicks once I'm, like, not spending red anymore, which rhinos are good, but there's plenty of other stuff I could be doing with my time this turn. And having an ebb turbine helped me sell back my drones faster as well. In addition to turning them into force fields, I can turn each drone into an NG1/2 without having to spend green on it. Is it an NG1/2? Yeah. So, might even have wanted a bit more green. Like, if I'd built one of my conduits this turn, but I can't really. Right, these are the 2 Tarsiers that I thought should maybe be rhinos, but actually it's not so easy to do. I'd have to cut a drone for it. I don't know, maybe that's worth. It probably is, in fact. Because coming up on this turn, I would now have rhinos with 0 stamina instead of Tarsiers. And, like, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Because rhinos with 0 stamina, like, are effectively, they let me save 1 more force field. Or at least one of them does. And in the meantime, I've done 1 more damage than if I had built Tarsiers. So it's like, I don't know, you pay $1 2 turns ago to shift 1 of your damage 2 turns earlier. 2 of your damage 1 turn earlier each. Because, like, I would be doing less damage this turn than I actually did, because this Tarsier, like, wouldn't be attacking anymore. He'd be a rhino. But then I would have, like, I would gain that damage back, because I wouldn't have to lose as many force fields. So I'd do 1 damage, 0, and then 1 forever, instead of 0, 1 forever, which is like the same net amount of damage, but some of it comes 2 turns earlier, and it only costs $1, which seems pretty great. I could have maybe, like, no, here, right? This is the turn I was thinking of. So something like this. I don't know that I need the NG, but it's probably going to be useful. So it's like the same amount of money, but instead of a drone, I have an NG. And then I have, like, the rhino instead of a Tarsier. And then 2 turns from now, this rhino will be useful soak. In the meantime, he's done damage. Right, like, what did opponent actually do in the game? Built a wall. If I had 1 more damage, this wall would not have been enough. they would have had to do something else unpleasant somehow. Like maybe build a force field early and lose it on defense. Ugh. Or build a second wall instead of a second grid. That would also be like great news for me. So yeah, that's a slight improvement to make. Is I was kind of just building Tarsiers because, like, yeah, it's a slow game, and Tarsiers are the best attackers until you have Reservoir. But, like, actually, once I'm over the Absorb barrier, I'm really going to value... Well, once you're over the Absorb barrier, it's, like, reasonable to build a Rhino if you will appreciate the Soak 2 turns from now. If the game is so slow that even 2 turns from now you don't care about Soak, even though you're above the Absorb barrier, like, fine. Keep building Tarsiers. But with Reservoir, any amount of Soak is, like, great, and so I think I would happily make that trade. And so I should have put a little bit more thought into this turn, whether the Tarsiers were actually the best thing I had available, or whether I should be upgrading them because of the Absorb, like, being over the Absorb barrier already. I could even go back a bit further, but I think, like, these 2 Tarsiers, I don't think I'm going to want Soak 2 turns from now. Right, and I don't know, I mean, I guess I built a grid, but that's fine. Anyway, I guess that is sort of all I need to say about this game. It was just like having a million more attackers than the opponent is pretty great. And their Apollo didn't really do anything. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.